Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Today Celtic released a statement in regards to Dominic McKay and when he will arrive at Celtic, when he will start his new role as Chief Executive Officer. It was very short, very brief, but let's talk about it. Let's talk about what it means for Dominic McKay and then further on what it might mean in regards to when we'll see a manager come through the doors. Very quickly before we go on any further with the video, the support recently has been mad, but 52% of people who are watching the videos are not subscribed to the channel. Let's grow as many subscribers as possible. If you are new around here or you just haven't subscribed yet, if you've not made an account or whatever, please do so. Make an account, subscribe to the Ryan118 channel. We're trying to grow as much as we can over the next few months heading into a big summer with Scotland at the Euros, Eddie Howe hopefully coming in, the next season coming up, so many things. So please, if you are new around here, make sure to press subscribe and let's get those numbers swaying the other direction. So it was reported by the Daily Record on Sunday night that Dominic McKay would be starting on Tuesday morning. This news wasn't exactly a surprise. If you were to believe that article, then you knew this was coming this morning. Dominic McKay was ready to start at Celtic. He's not starting immediately. He's not today in the job, in the role. It'll be April the 16th if he comes to Celtic, and he'll start working alongside Peter Law, Dermot Desmond, the rest of the Celtic board. But Peter Law will keep his job as CEO until the end of the contract, until that date, I think on June the 1st. And that's when Dominic McKay will officially become CEO. So it's very important for Celtic to get this done, in my opinion. I've been under the opinion for a long time now, since the announcement was made that Peter Law would retire or resign, and that Dominic McKay would come in. I was under the impression that we had to get him in the door as quickly as possible. That's because this is the guy who's ultimately going to be making decisions for the future of Celtic. Now, Dominic McKay might be in this job 1 year, 2 years, 10 years, I don't know. I mean, look at Peter Law, he was in that role for 14 years. If Dominic McKay is in it as long as him, then this is the future of our club, and he should be here making as many of the big decisions as possible from now until Peter Law leaves the club, because Peter Law making decisions is no use. It's not his club to run anymore. Yes, of course, I think he'll stay in it. I'm sure he's got shares in the club. There'll be some sort of way that Peter Law will be involved somehow, but in terms of CEO and running the club, that's done for Peter Law. So for him to have all these decisions on who's manager, who's director of football, without Dominic McKay having an influence on that, was always a bit worrying in my mind, and I didn't think it would happen. I always thought that Dominic McKay would have some form of input, but now we know that he's going to be running the club. He'll help running the club from April 16th till the end of the season, kind of shadowing Peter Law, but also I think that Dominic McKay will be now making the majority of the major decisions, or at least having the most say or influence on those decisions. After all, that is now his job. Dermot Desmond has hired him to do that. And I believe this is a guy who's going to be brilliant for the future of Celtic. I think the best interests of the club are to get him through the door now. And I'm looking forward to seeing the direction we head in over the next few weeks in terms of what Dominic McKay might or might not do. So this announcement was one that we were hoping for and we've got, but there's still one more waiting for, and that is the managerial announcement and the announcement of what's meant to be Eddie Howe. A lot of people getting a little bit anxious, waiting, taking too long. Of course, that first article we seen last week was saying that it would be announced early next week, and we all thought for the stock exchange opening this morning, that would be it. Eddie Howe announced and we'd have our new manager. But it's not quite worked like that. They're now reporting it'll be later on in the week, Thursday, Friday maybe, which I'm fine with. And look, I urge everybody to be patient. I think this is a procedure that we're forgetting is very complex. It's not as simple as just throwing over a contract and getting Eddie Howe to sign. As much as we want that to happen, this is a big deal. And Eddie Howe is one of the top managers in the game. It's not going to be done overnight. There's going to be a lot of conversations. Dominic McKay will now, I imagine, have quite an involvement in that. But look, I'm pretty certain it'll happen, and I think with this announcement, it really does. It gives me faith that it'll be sooner, and a lot of people, yes, are thinking that the longer it goes on, the closer we are to disappointment. And who knows, might be the case. Maybe we've all got our hopes up for Eddie Howe. Maybe we've been posting all these videos and photos and all the rest of it of Eddie Howe for nothing. But I'm pretty certain that it's just a situation that Celtic will be taking their time with, and it will get done now that Dominic McKay is through the door. He's got a big say in all of this. and it actually makes a lot of sense when you think about it for him to be in and running the club here and having some sort of running of the club first. Now I know he doesn't start officially till the 16th of April, but you know, him being announced as starting and all the rest of it, you know, for the next couple of weeks he will be having a say in what happens in Celtic, and I imagine it has been over the past few weeks. So I think that Eddie Howe announcement will actually come soon, and he needs to get that process moving, and we need to get it done and over the line. I know I've just contradicted saying it takes time, but it's now one of those ones where the momentum is building, and we want to keep getting the fans, you know, they're smart about this. Let's not pretend that this isn't a well thought plan from Celtic. They have gone a very smart route here. They know fine well that season ticket renewals are around the corner. They know fine well there's thousands threatening to boycott and give away their season tickets or to give up their season tickets. They know that. So with these slow announcements coming out, you know, first you've got Dominic McKay coming in, then you've got Eddie Howe, hopefully then you're getting your director of football. When all of that happens and a nice little steady bit of pace, it's going to win over a lot of fans. Now a lot of people are going to be queuing up to renew those season tickets because we all want to see Eddie Howe next year. We all want to be back in the stadiums as well. Let's not forget that. But it's a completely it's a catastrophic change of mood for the Celtic fans with these announcements coming. So Celtic have played it smart. You know, they've done it well. Business wise, they've kind of played a blinder here. We're kind of fools waiting up and queuing up now. But when you're making top class appointments in the manner of Dominic McKay and Eddie Howe, then of course you're going to renew your season ticket. And then for as disappointing a season as it's been, and for as angry as we've been all season, they've certainly done their best to go and try and make up for that. So in terms of Dominic McKay, and we're looking at his tasks and what he'll do and all the rest of it, well, the main thing is him coming through the door and setting up this new footballing department. And I hope that come the April the 16th, and as days go by, we start to hear more. And I'm looking forward to hearing Dominic McKay speak. I imagine we're going to get press conferences, we're going to get fan media events perhaps, we're going to get all these different things for the fans to get to know Dominic McKay a bit better. Because of course we're all very new to this, we're all very curious as to what he is and what he's about. Like, he's done a great job for the Scottish rugby team, and I think that a lot of people have been singing his praises for all the right reasons, and I'm hoping we get that Celtic. But I think a lot of people would like to see him outline his intentions, hear exactly what's on his mind, and ultimately what the difference will be between him and Peter Law. A lot of people are fed up of the same old approach that we've had for the last 14 years. You know, we've heard the words charlatans and bootlickers and all that. Everything's been thrown out, you know, about the board and Peter Law over the past few years. Certain fans have certain opinions. We've seen banners, we've seen all the rest of it. I wonder how much of a change we're going to get, and Dominic McKay now has the opportunity starting early to kind of outline that. Not only through announcing stuff like a new manager and a new director of football, but by speaking to the fans. So I'm looking forward to seeing that, and I imagine we will get that soon. I'm sure that we want to hear him address everything from European football aspirations to domestic football aspirations to how things will be run off the park. How this setup will work. Is it going to be similar now to Manchester United? I mean, there's been a lot of talk that Eddie Howe wants to bring in his own guy, Richard Hughes. So is it going to be similar to Manchester United? They've got Darren Fletcher down there in the kind of technical director role, or the director of football role, one of the two, and then someone else in the other. Is it going to be the same here with Fergal Harkin and say Richard Hughes? There's a lot of questions that a lot of fans will want addressed. And he's going to have a chance to do that in a couple of weeks. It's very exciting. You know, the rugby union wanted him to stay for as long as possible, which has kind of held us back from getting that opportunity. But now we're going to get that, I think. And you know, he's someone who at the rugby union, as we were told, is very fan orientated. Very much wants to make it as good a fan experience as possible when you go to a game. And we're hoping we see that reflected in Celtic. I mean, my dream is that the board and Dominic McKay one day will start to make games and tickets more affordable for everybody, and we start to make it an experience that people can go and want to go to the games every week. And he's got a job, and I feel like he's got what's the word I'm looking for? A duty to do that and make this once again, for us returning to the grounds, an exciting prospect. And I'm happy with Dominic McKay, and I'm happy that he's coming in early. Big news. So let's get Eddie Howe in now. I feel like that the announcement of the manager will be on the lips for the next few days. I imagine we'll talk about it in the channel a bit more on the podcast. We've got a special episode planned for the announcement, a kind of deep dive into everything Eddie Howe when it is made, if it is made. So it's just about staying patient, staying calm, take everything as the days go by. With every article from the tabloids, there is a bit of hope. And that's what gets everybody talking, but at the same time, the minutes going by are making everyone a little bit antsy. Can't blame them though. You know, it's a big appointment and we don't want to bottle it. So please, Celtic, don't bottle it. Give the man what he wants. Assure him everything. Give him, you know, the tools, the money, everything. Just push it. Let's go all in, as the banner once said. And let's get Eddie Howe through the doors to join Big Dom. Yes, Big Dom on the 16th of April. Big video tomorrow. I'm going to talk about whether or not Eddie Howe should take charge of Celtic as soon as possible or come the end of the season. We're going to weigh up both sides of the debate and we're going to talk about that. I'm looking forward to it. But lads, if you have enjoyed the video, make sure to hit like and subscribe. It is much appreciated. And see you all next time.